Do not play, do not play, do not play around with your relationship with God. God's hype girl is back. I'm back, baby, to say do not miss out on the best relationship ever, guys. Our relationship with God. Nothing more important than that. I want us all day, every day, having this relationship with God as we walk through life on the earthly plane of life, guys. We're having constant conversations with God. God, what would you have me to do here? God, what would you have me to say here? What would you have? I'm talking constant conversations with God on a moment by moment basis. But to know what He is telling you to do, you have to know His voice. So if you don't know His voice, you don't know when He's talking to you, you don't know what direction to go in, guys. So that's where the discernment comes in. And I'm on this mission to teach the world discernment. That we're listening to God, to have the eyes to see God, the ears to hear Him. The way He shows up for me, He told me that that's my calling, is to share my intimate relationship with God, to share it with you guys. So it's my pleasure, guys. Like on Saturday, I can't get over, I was talking to my daughter, Julie. I say, Jules, it's like your mama has been under house arrest, and I'm enjoying it, Jules. I've been in our house, locked up. For a whole week, I was just locked up. I didn't go out anywhere. I went out one day, guys. So I was just telling her how much I enjoyed that time, just alone, going nowhere, and just having that time away from the world for a little bit. And right after that conversation, guys, can you believe I went to this devotional? Like, I just felt it in my spirit. Again, this is discernment that I'm talking about. Just a nudge in my spirit from God to go to this specific WhatsApp group, the Bob Gass Devotionals. And can you believe my very words to Julie showed up there? House arrest. How? Here I am telling Julie, it's like I'm under house arrest in Nigeria and I'm enjoying it. Only for me to go to that specific devotional, guys. And it was talking about how the Apostle Paul was on house arrest in Rome. And it was no coincidence. That's God knowing everything. You know, there's a Psalm 139 that He perceives everything about us when we sit down, when we lie down. Like He knew that conversation with my daughter was going to happen. And He had me to go to that specific WhatsApp group. You understand? So that's the intimate reality of this life, walking with God. To know that every thought that we think, every word, He goes ahead of us. He goes behind us. He's at work in the spiritual realm on our behalf, fighting battles for us. So it's just for us to know His voice. And when that nudge said, Nick, go and read that devotional. Minutes after talking to Julie, and I called her right back. I said, Jules, look what showed up. That's God's intimate love, specifically for me. And He has a unique relationship for each and every one of us, guys. It's just for us to tap into that love from Him. Today He said He's like a shy person, like He waits for us to approach Him. So please, make today that you want to start getting stronger with God every day. What I really said I wanted to talk to you guys about is how my brother Kevin has just been such a great advisor to me, guys. I sent him a message to the group today. I say, it's crazy how most of your advice points me closer to God. So these are some of the things he would tell me, guys. He say, Neeks, the best thing I can tell you, get closer to God. Make God a priority. And that was like in one of the lowest moments of my life. He said, Nick, that's the best thing I can tell you right now. And that's turned out to be the best advice ever. Nothing more important than this relationship with God. And then another time he said, Nick, don't stop running. That's your time to strategize with God. So every day, guys, I have my God morning routine where I wake up and put God first. I listen to the prayer from the Daily Prayer with God or YouTube, or there's some different ones that come up, but I start with that prayer, guys, just to get my thoughts in alignment with God, that to just remind myself that I'm not going through life alone, guys, that I have God Himself with me. So that was great advice. Don't stop running, because like my daughter Julie said, like your thoughts are different when you move. So just this idea of moving and get my body moving, I think like the hormones start flowing, the happy juices, I call them. The next thing you know, I'm like more than a conqueror. Just knowing that I'm not tackling my life alone, that I have God himself with me, guys. And that's where I get my joy and my peace and my courage to tackle the hard things of my life. Then another one, he said, Neeks, don't try to be God. Be God's angel. Or don't try to control situations. Now this is going to happen and that's going to happen. No, try to be God's angel. Can we all do that? Be God's angel out there. Going a little bit softer with people. Everybody's going through a hard time right now. We could just show up as God-loving representative, compassionate, kind, going the extra mile in forgiveness and mercy and grace, overlooking the faults of others. Okay, guys? And then he said, Neeks, wake up every day and put on your armor, God. You guys get that? Dwelling in the shelter of the Almighty, baby. I'm going with that Psalm 91. He's my fortress. He's my refuge. He's my shelter. Any storm that comes my way. God is my protection, guys. And I move through life like that, knowing that I have God. The song that I love so much, I said this is the theme song for my life, is Arms Around You. And just walking through life knowing that I have God's loving arms surrounding me, protecting me, guiding me, loving me, comforting me. Nothing better than this guy. What else did Kevin say? He's saying, Neeks, discernment. So what that means is that in any decision, he's saying, Neeks, go to God. What is God telling you to do? Okay, so that's why I said it's so important to have this morning God routine every day so you can start learning God's voice, know the direction that he's calling you. There's a verse in the Bible that said, you'll hear a voice saying, go left or go right, but God will say, this is the way to go. So that's a discernment to know the way to go. And just practice. And the more you practice listening to God, guys, the better you get at it. What else? And I came to Nigeria. I started my running a little bit, but what I forgot, Kevin saying, Neeks, you must find a God tree in Nigeria. Oh my gosh. So I sat up. As soon as I got to our home in Nigeria, my husband said, Neeks, this is my prayer altar. Nick, this is my prayer altar. So when Kevin said that, Neeks, you must find a God tree in Nigeria, I made my husband's prayer altar, my prayer altar too. Make it our prayer altar. So I come here every day to just have some alone time with God. And even the first day, it was this ticking clock. I don't know if you guys can hear this ticking clock. But the ticking clock showed up in an appointment with God. And it was just about how God is the power behind the ticking clock of our lives. Like God is the divine hand. It's ticking everything, every heartbeat, every breath, everything, guys. So even with that, God used the ticking clock that my husband has here as that little wing from him, that he's with me. He's that ticking clock. And then he said, Neeks, God will go ahead of you and level the mountain. That we don't have to worry about how we're going to handle everything. Just knowing that with God together, we can handle everything that comes up in our lives. Even he's been telling me, expect miracles. To know that what's impossible for God, guys? Nothing. Okay, so just knowing that God's power, the ticking clock in our lives, he's capable of doing anything and everything. It's just for us. Say, God, I want a relationship with you. And walk with him 24/7, praying all day, every day. So I start with the prayer in the morning and the prayer continues all day. Okay, God, what would you have me to do here? Okay, so I want us to all go with all of these great pieces of advice from my brother Kevin. The number one, make God your top priority and focus. Start every day with a God morning routine, okay? Get to know God's voice for yourself. Nothing more important than that.